I was on the first Black woman to be on the cover of Women's Health magazine. I was on the cover of Emirates Woman, won the Cosmopolitan Middle East Award. So the blog really helped me be visible in the food space. I am a Dubai-based entrepreneur. Obviously, I went to Greensprings School. I've been here since I left Nigeria, which was when I was 16, so I've been here for 10 years. I have a restaurant business here in Dubai. I also have a dance company. And I create content on Instagram as well. So that is the intro. Basically, that's who I am, what I do right now. I think the love for food kind of started growing up in Nigeria. My mom always used to love food and always used to say we should cook. Therefore, I hated it. But once I left school and I was in uni here, I remember when I first came to uni, I was like 16. I was ordering takeout all the time. I didn't want to cook. But after a while, I just started like craving those tastes that I grew up on. And I started to experiment with food and flavors. And then, as a result of that, I was documenting my journey on my food blog. I started a blog called Dubai Foodie. And that started doing really well. So because of my blog, I was on the first Black woman to be on the cover of Women's Health magazine. I was on the cover of Emirates Woman, won the Cosmopolitan Middle East Award. So the blog really helped me be visible in the food space. And through that, I met my partner and it just kind of happened. Because even when I left school, I've always worked in the food industry. So primarily, most of my work before I started doing business for myself was marketing restaurants and food businesses. So I think first thing, I've just been here. Dubai feels like home to me now. So I've been here for 11 years. And it just felt natural that if I was going to launch a business, it would be here. Primarily because, you know, my contacts are here, my audience is here. And it feels like home. So it was just a natural step. I didn't feel like leaving, so I just stopped Dubai. There's a space for, you know, what the product I'm trying to sell, which is basically African food that is healthier, is a bit more refined. People in Dubai love to be healthy. Everybody here loves to be good. So, and they also love to experiment. There's such a big food culture here. So I thought that my brand will fit right in. And this was obviously, I had more confidence to do that because I have a blog in Dubai talking about the same things. And my audience probably is based here in Dubai. So it just felt right that I would launch a product that to kind of bridge the gap between online versus physical. There are so many challenges in starting off, depending on who you talk to. And I think depending on the kind of person that you are, as a person, I find it quite easy starting things, like that's my happy place. But obviously, it's one thing to start something, it's another thing to consistently grow that thing. There's so many things definitely involved. I feel like my biggest kind of hold up was when I left my job to start my business. I was so good at my job, and because I had that confidence in how good at my job that I was, I just thought that I would be that good at business. But the reality is, you're that good at the one job that you do, but running a business is you doing that one job and like a million other things around it. So I think the primary challenge is starting is like, okay, fine, understanding that when you go into business for yourself, depending on the team that you have, in the beginning, you're going to have to be in a lot of places at once. You're going to have to do things that you might not necessarily have the experience to do. So you need to be prepared and you need to be agile and you need to be quite quick. I think the other thing I would say is definitely having experience. So you need to either be ready to spend money to get people who are very good at what they do, or you need to be very good at what those people do for you very quickly. For me, I think what really helped was having mentors in my corner who could kind of see things from a bird's eye view and give me advice. There's a lot of things that no matter how many advice you get, you just have to learn it on your own. I think definitely financial planning in the beginning was also a big thing for me as well. I didn't quite get my projections right. And I think that's something that a lot of people mistake to make when they start a business. And I think especially in the food industry, cash flow can make or break you. So there's that. I think also having people in your corner who support and believe in you, making sure that you kind of prioritize having that type of energy around you will keep you motivated on the days where things get really difficult. Yeah, I think those will be like the main challenges that I can expect anyone to face. And again, of course, depending on what country you're in, there's the legalities of setting up. If you're working with a partner, that's a whole different kind of ball game, and lesson to be learned. Yeah. I feel like the one thing that makes us unique is the fact that we have a vision, and that vision is to serve world-class African food or African-inspired cuisines that people want to eat every day that makes you feel good. You know how sometimes you might eat like eba or mala? Well, I mean, not in Nigeria, but at least in Nigeria it's different too. Here it's like you don't want to eat eba every single day because it makes you heavy. And I've been quite active. While I was at Greensprings, I ran track, I played basketball. I've been very, very active. And especially when I started to learn about nutrition, I don't want to eat food that makes me feel like heavy. I want to eat and be able to get on with my day. And I think that's what we're trying to serve. And I feel like we want people to eat food and feel good, but still be satisfied, still feel like they're eating something that they enjoy, but still be able to move around, still be quick. And, yeah. That's the bridge. I feel like success is understanding or enjoying your journey. I know that's going to sound very random, but so that feeling of, and I learned this the hard way, right? I'm always chasing that feeling of success. And what I realized is that I never fully define what success means to me. And we can be successful at every different point in our lives, right? And the difference is understanding that where you are right now, whatever it is that you have, whatever stage of the project that you're on, you're a bit further than you were yesterday. So you're living yesterday's prayer. So in that moment, you are successful and just embracing that. I don't feel like there's a certain mark, like there's no fixed amount of money, there's no fixed amount of assets, there is no project that will be fulfilled. Yeah, you feel successful in that moment, but then when you get there, you always want more. So success is being able to enjoy your everyday and being contented with the fact that you're working towards your goals, but not obviously like, not kind of sitting down on your past laurels, but knowing that you're keeping on working towards something and just enjoying that process. Absolutely. So over the years, I've spent a ton of money, my partner's money, on growing this business. And I feel like knowing what I know now, I would have first of all set up things very, very differently. I think that's more of organizational structure in terms of how things are being set up. But also, I feel like the one thing that I would look back and do is I would involve or create a more digital element to my business from the get-go. That's something that we're trying to expand now. But I feel like I would really kind of try to prioritize, creating food that can reach people across the world. So having like a strong digital element into the business. And yeah, I think the two main things is in terms of how we set up, I feel like I could have saved a ton of money in setting things up differently. But again, one of those things that we had to learn through experimenting. And secondly is I think I would have taken a bit more advantage of the digital space from the beginning. I think definitely, having a really good foundation, obviously the secondary school experience is great. I feel like I learned a lot. I had the most amazing teachers. I did quite well. Obviously, I was like assistant head girl. All my family and my siblings went to Greensprings. We were like 4. So I feel like it gave me the foundation to kind of discover who I am and discover my potential. And that obviously deepened when I went to uni. But I feel like I had a really good foundation in discovering myself, discovering my skills. I think the one thing I really do appreciate in Greensprings is the fact that we had so many extracurricular activities. I remember like on Mother's Day, we put on a dance show, Father's Day, Children's Day. And that's the basis for my dance company. Like if I didn't have that experience, I wouldn't have a company that brings together so many women all the time. People was asking me, did you go to dance school? No, I only just did Mother's Day and Christmas show. That's what we do. So I really, really enjoyed that. And yeah, I'm grateful for the experience. my most memorable moment. Wow. I feel like obviously making FIFA was a big one because my mom was very happy. I will say this. So I remember when I won the award for additional math, and that was very memorable because I remember when I first started taking that course. I remember my teacher was Mr. Mudashiru. I don't know if he's still in uni, but he literally was one of the best. I remember failing my first exam and then like going to the end of the term and being able to win that award really meant a lot to me. I think there's like the academical kind of achievements were quite memorable. And the Christmas shows, the fun times, few friends that I made, quite make my experience in Greensprings quite memorable as well. I would. I feel like Greensprings does give kids a lot of leeway to experience who they are. I feel like the curriculum is quite diverse, you know. We have obviously really good, like strong science subjects, but then you also have like art, there's music. And I feel like what kids need is the ability to explore who they are, the ability to kind of figure out who they are in a safe space that still gives them the guidance. And I really feel like I did get that out of Greensprings. So yeah, that was amazing. I don't really believe in the concept of role models. I believe that there are mentors and there are people in life you can learn from. I think my number one thing is I love to associate and learn from people who have been where I want to go. And there is no one person that has my unique journey, but there are so many people that I can look at their life, look at their career, look at their journey and be like, okay, I like how she did it. I like how he did it. And I made quite a few friends in the community here who I feel like have guided me in that sense. Obviously, my family also plays a huge part, but I believe that people, regardless of how high they rank in society or how low they rank in society, you can always learn something from everyone. There's always something to be learned. So I think as a philosophy, we should always be on the lookout to learn and, take advice where applicable to, our own path or our own careers. So adaptability to whatever situation is super important. Secondly, is you need to be willing to learn because you're going to learn and you need to be humble. I think also creativity is a big one. You will find yourself in situations where you need to pull out your creative ideas to kind of wrap you through. And I think another one is grit. And grit is the ability for you to graft, keep going even when things seem bleak, keep pushing through because you have this vision. Nobody else might be able to see it, but you have this vision. It's so clear to you. You need to fight for that vision. You need to see it so clearly and you need to see it in a way where you're able to convince your team to see it as well. I think that's also something I had to learn. Being a leader, obviously running a team now of about 12 people I know that I have my part to play, but I see my whole team and I know the part that they have to play as well. If they do not believe in my vision, if they do not understand what it is that we're here to do as a business, then they cannot show up as their best selves for my business. So I think as an entrepreneur, as a leader, it's your duty to convey that vision, get them on board, get them as excited about it as you are. Have a team that is working towards the same goal, because that's really one of the biggest things, to be honest. I feel like in a 9 to 5, you do your job and you get out. But when you have a business, you're always turned on all the time. So I think having an idea and having some sort of way to test it before deciding, this is what I want to do, is really key, because through testing, you might find out that that's not actually what you want to do. I think secondly is get really, really, really good and comfortable with numbers. Financial projections are everything. If you're in business and you're not making money, you're not in business, right? At the end of the day, there are two things the business needs to do. One, it needs to solve a problem. So the only reason why business exists is because they solve problems for the consumers. Two, it needs to make money. So you need to solve a problem, and that problem needs to have some sort of value that you can make money from, and definitely understand the difference between revenue and also profit. So you can be making a ton of money, but if you have really high cost, if you're leaking money, if you're overspending, at the end of the day, you're not profitable. And that becomes very relevant, of course, when you're working with partners, but also for you, for your time as well. And I think another thing would be getting really, really clear on your vision. What are you trying to achieve? Like, why do you want to start a business? Is it just because you think it sounds cool? Or does your business actually solve a problem? Is there a vision, like a space for what it is that you do? And I think when we become more attached to the vision as opposed to making money, I think that really kind of helps drive you through, because over time, businesses evolve, things change, and yeah, those would be like my main tips. I just live my life. No, obviously I teach one dance class a week, so I dance. I create a lot of content on Instagram. I believe in the digital age that we're at now, it's super important for you to have an online presence, regardless of what it is that you do. And I work out. I'm super into my fitness. I eat healthy, and I try to spend as much time with my family and friends as possible. I love to travel. Yeah,